Law Unfiltered. So today it's an exciting topic with another special guest. His name is Mr. Fong Cheng Long. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's exciting because we're going to talk about something that is happening in Malaysia or any other country, perhaps. It's a scam. So, you know how everybody used to say, like, okay, if you're paying for something online, don't use the credit card. Don't use the debit card, use the credit card. Because if your debit card money is your money, right? If you get scammed, then the bank will be less proactive in trying to get the money back comparison to credit card. That's what everybody says. So today we want to find out, is it true that the bank really, will not help or be more proactive in getting the money back if your own money gets scammed? So let's first start with the different kinds of scams that we have, like how people scam money away, okay? Like for example, one, it's called phishing.
Phishing is a form of more like a textual kind of scam. Essentially, they will send you, for example, an email or message to tell you that, click here to win a prize of 10,000 ringgit. And then after you click on it, and then you keep, let's say, for example, you have to put in more money to some money to buy something, and then essentially the thing doesn't come. So that is trying to fish information out of you and subsequently take money out of you. That's some form of
phishing.
Phishing. Yeah.
I think the quite popular one is last time they used to have like this Maybank one, right? Maybank got this link sent to everyone, like click here to claim your points or something like that one.
Correct. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people
get scammed.
Get scammed on that. Surprisingly, notwithstanding a lot of
People still fall for it.
yeah, people tell there's a lot of people telling each other there's a scam, but sometimes you don't even know you are a victim of scam.
Then what about calling? Calling also, right? People impersonating Maxis.
Yes, that is a very common type of scam in Malaysia. Essentially, they're just calling you to be pretending to be someone else. More common nowadays would be text messages impersonating to be someone else.
Yeah.
So sometimes they will come as someone from the utility company or even from the authorities. Sometimes they will pretend to be attractive pretty girls or attractive men, or even sometimes they pretend to be your friend as well. They will start messages like hello Jonathan or something along those lines, and then say I'm not Jonathan, and then they'll play along. And normally they don't do it immediately. They go by stages. So they will bait you for a couple of months or a couple of weeks,
pretending to be my friend Jonathan.
Yes, for a long time. For a long time, they will maybe 3-4 months. Then after that, they will try to tell you, I have this, either for example, I have this business deal, or I have this problem. So then they say, can you put in some money and help me out? So maybe you will say that, okay, I'll help you out, and then they'll pay you back.
No, but it's very funny, right? Because if I know a friend Jonathan, eventually I will know that this person is not Jonathan, right?
Yes, but they will tell you they know you. They will say that this is a wrong number, for example. One of the examples is wrong number, for example. They thought they are messaging Jonathan, but you are not Jonathan. They say, never mind, I am so and so. They will tell you another name, I am so and so, and then they will be friends with you for some time.
It's okay, all my friends know if you ask me for money, I got no money.
Yes. Well, they can always ask for favors. They'll ask you to, or somehow they will gain your trust. That is how they work.
Scary. But I recently I saw like this person shared a reel. It said like Maxis called this guy, and then they were saying like, we are giving you free 2 months, you don't have to pay for your Maxis bill. And then after that it's like, okay, I'm gonna send you this OTP number, you just need to give it to me. But this guy know that it is a scam already lah, so he keep giving the wrong number. It was so funny. I was like, okay, so this is one of the ways Maxis are trying, scammers are trying to get money, impersonating Maxis, or like or I know on another occasion somebody got scammed after saying after this guy allegedly is from some government body. It said like, there was been a warrant of arrest issued to arrest you. So if you pay this amount of money right now to the bank, and then we will cancel the warrant to arrest, and you will be free. So I said, if I'm going to come and arrest you, am I supposed to tell you, inform you so that you can run away?
Yes.
So, yeah, that's one of the things lah. So anyways, then after that, there is another kind of scam which is called farming. Farming is another trying to get you to another website, redirect you there. So it's like some fake website or something,
Yes.
I think. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very often, they will create fake websites where sometimes you key in your bank account details. There are also, I know, which is a big problem with a lot of brand owners, is that the scammers will create big brands. For example, let's say Nike, for example, they create a website for Nike and make people shop there. And then they will buy, let's say, a 200, 300 ringgit shoe, and then the shoe will never arrive. And then they will have a lot of these websites together. So they can make considerable amount of money just by creating all these fake websites.
But how do we know which one is fake?
It's quite difficult because the website sometimes mirror the actual
Exactly.
site.
Yeah, I've seen before. I don't. How am I supposed to differentiate?
Yeah, so you have to really buy from authorized websites. It's either let's say for example Nike.com.
Yeah.
Let's say if you find
Nike1.com, then can already.
so something that is a bit different, like I should say, or NikeClothing.com. So like, okay, this something wrong with it. So you don't buy. Shopee, for another example, Lazada.
There's an app already. No need to. There's nothing to change.
So for those platforms, also a lot of fake counterfeit products. That is counterfeit products, but in a way, they're telling you it's original, but actually they are not original.
That's okay. The one is too bad already lah.
Yeah, that one is a different type of scam.
Yeah, true. Then after that, there is malware. Malware means they secretly try to install something.
Actually, a lot of times in malware is not secretly. It's
you don't know.
Yes,
they don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So I know cases like, for example, they will send you a link.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? WhatsApp has a lot of this. They will send you a file and say, oh, I got this file, can you click on this? Or there's a link here, can you click on this for this and that? Or I can send you an invoice, please click on this to install that app lah. So that even emails, also very, very common. I also seen where people wanted to download movies. Then I thought that they were downloading the movie, actually is the malware behind it. So maybe sometimes they download the actual movie together with the malware, and the malware will install in the background. So they will use that computer, and it's either they use the computer to monitor your activities, to see who you are, what you have, and they will continue from there.
Because we download movies all the time.
Yeah.
Because we still have Netflix, it's okay. We still have Netflix.
Nowadays, well, I guess if it's on the
illegal websites, it's okay, right? You're not downloading anything.
If you're streaming, movies, yes, these days are quite safe. But in the older days, you will need to download the movie, either through a BitTorrent or download directly from the website.
I have no idea how to do that.
Those days, you have to do it because those are the ways to watch movie those days. Yeah. So you have to download the actual show. But a lot of times, you end up downloading malwares.
But how do you discover it then?
Usually, if you have a good virus scanner on your computer, you will know lah. It will alert you. But nowadays, virus scanner doesn't come together with your computer.
Oh, it does?
Yes. Because and it has to be updated all the time. Sometimes they will come out with new viruses and so malwares. So you cannot get it 100% all the time.
Human life virus also cannot deal with already. We have to deal with IT viruses now.
Yes.
Alright, anyways, then we have scareware. So scareware is something I got from ChatGPT. Told me I was asking, other than phishing and all that, what other kind of scams that we have not heard about and people have been talking about, and he came up with scareware, which is where fake security warnings frighten victims into downloading what appears to be antivirus software, but it is actually malware itself.
Yep.
So this is something new. I've never heard of this actually. So that's why I kind of asked ChatGPT.
This is quite common on websites, especially those illegal websites where let's say normally it's just pornographic websites lah. You will go there and then they will pop up one thing and say, for example, your Chrome or your Microsoft Windows is outdated or has a virus. Please click here to download it.
But surely people wouldn't so easily fall for it.
A lot of people fall for it.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Why only when you watch pornography website, then the thing pop out. Why other websites the thing never pop out? Didn't they ask that question?
Because one, it could be possibly the pornography website themselves.
That has
they are the part of them the part of the scammers Other than providing pornography to you, they also want to know your access to your bank account.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, as in, like, have it ever occurred to the person why this pop out only came out when I'm in this pornography website? Why this pop out never come out and tell me about all this shit in another website?
Those people
Isn't that very suspicious?
Hard to say I don't know what's the don't know what people think.
Are you trying to scam me now? Right? So, okay, now that we have gone through all of the kind of scams that has been going on around, so the question is, when it happened already and you have made there's a loss already, you've been scammed, thousands, 100,000s. So who bears the loss? That is the question. Because you see, this again, it's not the credit card money, it's debit card money, it's your money. So a lot of people will think, oh, what am I going to do now? I got a scam and all that. So now, not to worry. Accordingly, the BNM, Bank Negara Malaysia, has since last year October came out with this a system which is called, in short, SAFT. Basically, it's a compensation framework, and it's called ensuring fair treatment for victims of unauthorized e-banking transaction. Now, you will realize that this is for unauthorized e-banking transactions. So if let's just say that can I say that if you got scammed in a call means the bank's not going to give it back to you? Yeah, you can say that, because this policy is in regards in between bank and you or the scammer. So if you were the one who willingly gave the money to the scammer because you believe to be true, then you are not going to get the money back. So, but if you were scammed through your debit card, for example, people like to buy things online, right? And then they key in their debit card information on the website, and then the scammer found it and then used that debit card to pay for other things. That one, possibly you can get it back, but it depends on how it happened. So for example, there is this thing, investigation on fraud cases. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, according to the report, if it's solely the bank's problem, they will bear the losses. But if you have play a part in it, the chances of you getting back your money it's
maybe half.
very low. Well, there are also cases where it is completely the bank's fault. It's nothing to do with you. For example, you get an SMS Sunday midnight. There's a spot. There's a transaction there. You did nothing with it. You don't know where website you went to, but suddenly there's a transaction. It's not 100% the bank will give you back everything. There are cases which I heard that the banks also do give only a certain part of it.
Because you contributed, right?
So-called contributed. Because you also don't know sometimes which website I went to, how did it happen. So the bank also say it's not my fault also, because the bank said I already, we done our part, but somehow the merchant that you went to, system got compromised. So that's why sometimes the bank also do not give you the full amount. But if you are not happy, then you have to go to the Ombudsman for Financial Services to make a complaint, which I heard is quite backlogged. So it will take a long time for your complaint to be processed.
Maybe because there's too
many things. Too many things going on.
I see. But is it true that the bank will first investigate on their own security system first?
Yes, they will first look at their log files, look at their system, whether any compromise on the part. What activities have been done there. They'll look at yours.
They themselves first, right?
See there any problem. Of course, you as the customer will not know what they have seen unless you go to sue them. They have no choice but to give you the information. I've also seen cases where the trading accounts, for example, the money, banks, the shares were sold in all those things without the customer's knowledge. So those things happen all the time. And the bank will say that, oh no, someone locked it in and do it. So and the client on the side will say that, oh, I did nothing. It didn't cause it to be sold. So then it comes to a part of proving. that would be quite difficult because the banks would have their arsenal of experts and they have access to the log files itself. But you as the consumer, all you can say is that I didn't do it, I was not there, and that's about it. It's very rare you get access to the bank system, which they will claim, confidentiality and all sort of secrecy under the Financial Services Act to stop you from accessing it.
Okay, so let's give a few scenarios that actually happened before in previous case laws. So there have been individuals who have sued the bank for money loss in their bank account. So these are a few scenarios that we can share out. Like for example, there was this person. He used to be long time customer for this bank. Okay, and then so obviously because it's a long-term customer already, right? So the bank will eventually know what is his spending attitude pattern and all that, right? So there was on one occasion he issued out a lot of money. I think 20,000, I cannot remember, but it was a huge sum. Okay, completely out of nowhere from the way that he has been spending money all these years, and the large sum happened every week for a few weeks already, and then the bank account I think left not much anymore. And if I am not wrong, right, this customer has already passed. It was the estate who found out about it, if I'm not wrong. So then after that, they sued the bank because you as a bank, you know that this is your customer, has been there for so long, and suddenly he come up with this crazy transactions that has never happened before. So you are supposed to flag it out. Accordingly, banks do flag out weird transactions to make sure that it is not a scam on your own bank account. So they sued the bank, and I think they got back the money, if I'm not mistaken, right? So let's talk about that case.
Okay. Well, I think the plaintiff is the estate itself actually very lucky.
Yeah.
Because the customer himself gave his PIN and caused the money to be transacted out. So he was himself a victim of scam also, if I'm not mistaken. So because it was his fault, and in most of the online scam cases, is a fault-based approach. Essentially, it's whose fault is it?
Yeah.
But then comes to the bank's duty. Is there a duty for the bank to monitor your account on a daily basis, on a periodical basis?
Yeah.
Do they look at, today you got more transaction, today, but the bank got millions of accounts.
Yeah, exactly. So many transactions going on every day.
So why would they be looking at your account? Because you've got so many accounts. Why would they say that, suddenly this guy got more money out? This guy, like, let's say, 20,000 is actually not a lot, for example.
But every week, 20,000,
yes.
That's a different story.
So then, would that be sufficient to flag
something out?
Maybe not. We do not know, because this is not
bank's own internal policies,
and everybody maybe have different ones. So I think probably in the appeal itself,
they were lucky lah.
The bank may or may not succeed. I think on a 50-50 basis.
They appeal.
Should be appealed because there's a judgment out. Normally, when there's a judgment out, there will be an appeal against the decision. And knowing the banks, they won't just give up at Sessions Court lah.
I mean, of course, this 2020, how much? I think it was like 100,000.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, but I remember there was many 20,000 transactions for each week.
Yes.
So that's why it happened like this. So let's give another scenario. Okay, I think this one is very obvious lah. If you receive SMS and say that, I think it's very common. I also kena before. SMS tell me your parcel cannot be transferred, cannot be delivered. You have to pay this amount first, that amount first, blah blah blah. Like, okay. Then you click on the link, and the website you directed, and then after you put in your numbers, everything.
Yes.
Kena already.
Yes, your fault.
Your fault.
Your fault. Fault-based approach.
Yeah.
Your fault.
Right. So another thing, just now you said, right, because the deceased gave the PIN number and everything.
Yes.
I think there was also another case like this, right? Gave the PIN number, gave the card. Was it the card?
Very
that
common.
gave?
Yes.
But I don't know what prompted this person to give the card away.
Yeah.
So in that kind of situation, okay, how would it go?
Again, it's the fault of the victim itself.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they were either persuaded or essentially being pressured, to give away the access to third parties. Sometimes, for example, like the examples you gave is, the police or authorities going to catch you, or you better give me your card. Sometimes it's love scam, for example. They fall in love with this person, and love person say, "Oh, I need my help." Or sometimes they are victim of greed. They become victim of greed. So they will say that, "Oh, transfer this money or give me this one. You get more money." So there are a lot of ways.
But I feel like this one is okay. This one maybe is arguable. But if let's just say if it is a website that I didn't know that it's a fake one, and then I key in my debit card amount number in there, and then I got scammed. I mean, that's not really my fault. So it's kind of like gray area here.
Let's say, for example, the website is very obvious it's a scam website, for example.
Not enough awareness for that.
If for example, you've gone to a pornographic website, for example, then obviously, first thing, you're not supposed to be there, and two, you got lured to another website to key in your details.
Okay.
Then obviously it's your fault. But let's say you went to the bank's website and suddenly you got diverted.
What if it's a fake bank website?
Correct. So then
bank's fault.
Maybe bank's fault, or let's say you do a Google search. Let's say, for example, for me to access, let's say CIMB, I will go to Google the box and type CIMB, and then the first link I click on it. So then, but for example, someone decided, the scammer decided, I can manipulate it and make my fake website to be the first, and everybody start clicking on it. So,
can they do that now?
Yeah, possible. It's always that. It can be done that way. So, for example, it's not a very well-known website. For example, let's say not the bank. Bank normally will get it all done. Let's say it's a not very very famous brand, for example, not famous platform. So someone takes over the first link on the website. Option, or you become one of the generated information in the AI's information there. So one of the information. So then when you click on it, you end up at the phishing website. So this is also one of the things that
whose fault?
It could be the Google's fault.
Because that's the main point, right? Whose fault?
Whose fault?
Yeah.
Obviously, then it becomes Google's fault for not putting in the correct link. But then it comes to you. Google,
I was the one who put it there.
Then next thing say, could you have done better in checking whether this fake or not?
Again, how am I supposed to know that the website?
So then that becomes, I guess. Let's say, for example, it's Google's fault. It's very hard. You're going to sue Google. Where are you going to go sue him or sue him in? Then there's an arbitration clause down there, somewhere in TNC.
Yeah.
Which highly unlikely you'll be able to afford the litigation.
And I came across this thing the other day, which I cannot really recall. Something like when we open our savings account, right? There is a term and condition. What if you give away your PIN number or something? The bank will not be liable.
Correct. Yes.
But does the clause include, like, if I unknowingly give my, but it cannot be. I cannot be giving my PIN number to anyone at all.
Nobody. No.
So that means are we safe to say that if, let's just say I was getting scammed and I was afraid that it is true, I gave my PIN number to this person so that I don't get into trouble, then the fault is entirely on me then?
Yes, correct. Not the banks. So the bank has to contribute to the fault
the most easiest one is when the scammer, without myself knowing, has been transferring the money out.
Yes.
Then it'll be the way.
Then with the bank's fault but normally may have. There was another case also I just read recently. Is the bank sued former employee who allegedly had been taking money from the customer's account. So the customer, there were a few premium customers. The customer complained, someone took the money out from my accounts, about quite 6-digit number. So they fired the employee.
Okay.
Say the employee, you are the one who
took the money.
Took the deed. So, but he was not he's not the cashier. He was probably the relationship manager or something like that. Then the bank sued him for the money back. Said that, hey, give me back the money, you took it. The bank lost because they were unable to prove
he took the money.
He took money. Because one is the bank themselves, the evidence showed that, for anyone to take money out of the bank, it must be the cashier. Cashier take money, cashier has a process, or the whole process go through. There will be a whole process. But he's just one guy in booking there who's nothing to do with it. But one thing the bank wanted to rely on is that there were pre-filled forms, transfer forms, which was found in his office. But the judge says that this is not enough, because even if I found it in your office, doesn't mean that you are the one who did the transfer. Because someone else, because there's a process to transfer money out. Not just take the thing and then, here you can transfer. You need to go through a whole process. So the bank failed in action against the defendant.
So they lost because of their own
Yes,
policy.
but the bank compensated all the
I
customers.
mean, of course they have to compensate because that's their fault already, right?
Correct. So, when looking at the bank themselves, they cannot even find out how money went out.
So, what?
Yes, it's interesting. Interesting judgment. I just saw it's the High Court decision.
So
Yeah, initially I thought it was going to be a home run case. They found the forms in his office.
Yeah. If you are not transferring the money out, why you have transfer form in your office?
Correct. So.
But this is circumstantial,
Yeah, it becomes circumstantial, It's not direct evidence, or someone just planted it through this. Who knows?
This guy is also very smart. There's no, I mean, money cannot be found anywhere related to him, right?
I guess so. I think if I were the bank, I would done a bit more. Like, for example, I get a court order to look at all his devices.
Accounts.
All his accounts. I just call all my friends in the banks and say, this guy got what account? Which account does he have? Give me all the accounts and
find out where
the money went to, where the money trail.
Yeah.
So there are things I could do more, but of course the judgment didn't say what are the complete evidence are.
Well, this has been interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think, right, let's go back to our question that we've posed earlier. Is it true that if your money has been scammed, the bank's not going to be so proactive? So I cannot say that the answer is yes or no, but it really depends on the situation. So if your own money was scammed, partially or mostly because of the bank, then the bank will compensate to you according to what they have contributed from their part, which has been proven to be right according to a few cases where some of the victims have gotten back their money from the bank. But if you contributed to that scam to happen and caused your own money to be scammed, then the bank may not compensate you for that. So I think everybody have to do their part, right? You got to do your part and the bank has got to do their part. And I believe the bank so far, security-wise, they're definitely strong. If not, then there will be a lot of trouble. And so far, they have good security sensors in terms of raising red flags and all that. I've spoken to a few bankers before, also try to understand how do they find out if it is a red flag or not. Somebody will actually look at it, but whether it is red flag enough to the person or not is also a question that they have to ask themselves. So, and of course we ourselves then we try to be more alert in ways, right, not to get scammed. I mean, nowadays people are very creative in trying to scam money. Really, because I've heard a few from my friends how they got scammed, and then sometimes even I'm scared, wow, okay, it seems very legit, and but it turns out not to be. So I think we've come to an end to this conversation. I hope it has been the most helpful to most people. If anybody got scammed before in a different particular way, please share so that we all know how it happened. Everybody can be well aware of it. Thank you for coming again, Mr. Fu.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so okay, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.